Good evening, everyone. My name is Mike DeLorenzo. I am a film buyer here at Landmark, and tonight is my distinct honor of getting to talk with Mr. Terry Notary, Oleg from this evening's film.
Hi, everybody.
I don't know about all of you, but this is my favorite film of the year, personally. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that or not. But the first time I saw it, I couldn't help but really digest it afterwards. I can only imagine what you're all going through right now. So, Terry, you have your resume is a number of very blockbuster films. Excuse me. You have Kong Skull Island, where you play King Kong, the Planet of the Apes films, even Avatar. How do you find yourself working on a Swedish art film? Can you tell us a little bit about how you got involved in the project?
Well, I got a call from Ruben, and I didn't know who he was, but I liked him. And he said, I worked on a film, Force Majeure, and I'd like you to be in my next film. And Force Majeure, I love that movie. So I said, let's FaceTime, And so we did a FaceTime, and he was just quirky and funny and silly and laughing, and I thought, I love this guy, I'm going to do it. So that was it, and we didn't really know what we were going to do. He said, I want you to terrorize this group of there's donors in this banquet hall. And I thought, ooh, that's fun. Let's do that. I want you to be an ape impersonator. And okay, cool. So we just sort of winged it and did a lot of improv. A lot of the stuff was just happened. And I wanted to make each moment sort of fresh. So people that wanted to be picked, I didn't pick them. I picked the people that didn't want to be picked. And, oh, there's a person. Oh, yeah, that's good. And then they would give me more than, they would give me everything I needed to react. And it was great because Ruben was loving it. He's all about tension. I realized in his Force Majeure film that he likes to really string out the moments before the moment happens, and so he likes to create tension and let moments play out in time. And so I thought that's freeing as an actor to be able to have time to allow the moments to unfold and to not rush to get to the mark. So that was one of the challenges as well for me, was to allow things to happen as they did and not force things to try to happen. So it was nice for me as an actor to work with him. Yeah.
And I think he really does build that tension during that scene. So most of your previous work is motion capture. This particular scene is you in the raw or in the buff, so to speak. How do you prepare? As an actor, do you prepare differently? That it's you on screen versus and working with a room full of people versus doing something through motion capture?
Not really. No, same. It's the same process. Performance capture acting is the same as live action acting for me, and for all the people that actually do performance capture acting, it's the same. You're just being turned into a 100-foot monster or a 3-foot dwarf. You're just embodying something different. Same with the character. With this character, I wanted to come in to it with the idea that I wanted to be a bully. I knew I wanted to bully people, and I wanted to tell people something, and I wanted to point out the weakness in humanity. I wanted to show people that they were, getting soft and complacent. And when you start with a character like this, it's, I wanted to start from a blank slate and sort of allow the character to find itself in the rehearsal. And so we did. Yeah, we just played, and I put the teeth in, and as soon as I put the teeth in, I was like, okay, there he is. He sees through, this angry sort of, teach people about themselves by pointing out their weakness.
Was there any prep with the other actors during that scene that they know what you were going to do, or was this pretty much their natural response to what you were doing?
No, Ruben didn't want us to talk or anything or communicate about anything we were going to do. We just, even with Dominic, I said, "Hey, Dominic, nice to meet you. I love your work, and I'm gonna chase you out of the room." So he's like, "I love it, mate. Let's do this."
He looked genuinely
It was great,
frightened.
and that was what happened, and yeah, he was awesome. He was amazing. On the first take, we did 2 of those takes. On the first take, he got so into it that he ran up the balcony and he threw this vase full of flowers and water at me, and it broke off my shoulder and it shattered. I thought, that's awesome. This is going to be in the movie. It didn't make it in the movie. Yeah. So I don't know why it didn't, but I thought that was a better take.
I have to ask Ruben about that one.
Yeah.
Now, there's a number of underlying themes that come out in the film. For this scene, was there a particular theme that Ruben discussed with you that he was going for to relate to the audience?
Mm-hmm. Well, we knew we wanted to expose them, and I thought, okay, what we do is we need to warm them up and get them to side with me and gang up on one person, and so that was on the rehearsal day. I thought that would be a good thing to sort of to show them that it's easy to do that. It's fun to do that, and it's fun to gang up and be separate from something, but a part of something that points the finger at someone else, and then turn around and scare that one person out of the room, become that alpha, and then turn on them and point the finger at them and pick them out and sort of make them feel what it feels like to be on the other end. So that was, and then show them how weak they were by not being able to move or to respond, but to hide and take it to the degree that we had to take it to in order to get them to actually wake up and do something. So that was our through line, and so that's what. I mean, we decided to take it to that level at the end. We said, let's just go for broke on it with the girl.
I think it really brought that question from the beginning of the film about the exhibit versus non-exhibit, or the exhibition versus the exhibitionist, because the first time we see Oleg is that piercing gaze at the person who walks into the museum. Mm-hmm. And then to have that gaze, then the people at the dinner are actually part of the exhibit as Oleg is having his performance.
Yeah. We wanted to wake them up and then essentially turn them into the animal that they were looking at. Is what we wanted to do, to wake them, so that basically when you let go of all the social conditioning and the pretense, then you finally let it burst and become this animal, and that's what the ultimate goal was. It was to turn the tides, and I become the victim and they become the animal.
And I think that it was achieved. I mean, once the people finally, somebody else did it, then everybody jumped in and ganged up on poor you getting kicked out. So I see that you're in the Avengers Infinity War coming up, and besides stunt coordinator work, motion capture, and movement coach, do you foresee yourself doing another film similar to The Square?
I would love to. Yeah, I definitely want to do more art films. After doing this, it felt like theater. It felt like going back to theater for me, and being just more about. I love working on the bigger projects, and they're great and they're rewarding and everything. But I think what I learned from Ruben on this film was really that the moments that actually happen on film, we need to take more time, and you need to have more takes, and you had to really work it like it's theater, because you really do get the good things happening, and to the point when you keep working through things, you find things that you would never have thought of. You make mistakes, and the mistakes really become the gems that you like and that become real. So it was like going back to theater and realizing that you can actually make film like theater, like you do in theater, So, yeah.
Yeah, they do say that sometimes the mistakes end up being what makes it into the final cut because that's what actually seemed real.
Yeah. And when you're working with like you do with Ruben, where you're doing lots of takes and you can just play and you have room and space, you're not afraid to make mistakes, and you're kind of encouraged to make them. And you just go, okay, well, let's just flesh this out, So because you can't really come in unless you've really, because the moment is so different when all the extras are there, or when you're reacting to actors and you're reacting to a new situation, which is very different than a script on a page. The script becomes something completely different when you're allowing it to, and it becomes better. So taking the moments to really allow the pages to sort of take life and become something bigger than you ever thought you could see is important, and we can do more of that in the big films.
And that must be very liberating as a performer to have that type of freedom.
Definitely, yeah.
I do have one question that maybe you can shed some light on. So Anne's roommate is apparently an ape. It's never, other than Christian's first response to said ape, there's never really why she lives with an ape. Is this something that Ruben talked about with you, or is it the humanity versus where man becomes animal, or is it maybe an homage to Every Which Way But Loose, where it's totally normal to just hang out with an ape?
Yeah, I think it was. I think the ape was an amazing actor too, human actor, and looking like a human. I mean, I thought he was great. He was playing a human, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I thought he was playing like a 14-year-old boy.
Yeah, who liked eating crayons.
Awesome. Yeah. So, anyways, I know it was. I've asked Ruben that very same question, and he said, "Why not?" It's funny. It's funny. But that's perfect.
Why not? Okay, I will take that as an answer. Yeah.
There's nothing. Nothing beyond just having an ape in the moment, just to kind of throw things out of whack.
So maybe I was reading too much into it, but that's the beauty of this film is there's so many layers that you can really bring what you want to the film.
Yeah. I mean, Frederick Weisel is the DP as well, and I have to put a shout out to him because I think he's a genius, and the way he just allows the moments to hang and not forcing people to think a certain way by pushing in and cutting and like sort of directing people how they should feel, but treating the audience intelligently and really allowing them to just not have to see the expression or to push in hard and do all these super explanatory camera moves, because I think we do get it. I mean, and when we treat ourselves and the audience intelligently, then they respect that, and they feel like, okay, they're a part of it, rather than being removed in a way that they're being told what to think.
The inclusion in the arts.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Now, did you get your start in Cirque du Soleil? Is that correct?
Yeah.
How was that transition from going from that to film?
Well, in Cirque, the thing I took most from Cirque was the very first day. The director told us to take our clothes off and be naked, and he said, "You can leave your underwear on if you want." And so we all left our underwear on, but we cradled each other like little babies, and I was just like, I had this big, huge Russian dude, and it was holding me, and I was just being a baby in his arms. I was like, okay. And he said, "I want you to forget everything you know. I want you to become a baby. I want you to see the world completely new and open up to some things that you could never have thought about, and to forget who you are." And I've taken that with me for the characters that I play or help create with actors, because I work with a lot of actors. And the first thing I do is I have them breathe, and I have them stop, and we just create a blank slate. We just start from a blank, neutral place, and then learn about ourselves, who we are, and break down our habits, our social conditions, the way we walk. The blueprint of your life is your body, and understand what the tool is that you use, the instrument. And when you understand that you have all these habits and these things that you bring with you through life, that you can actually use them, or you can understand them and allow them to fall away for the character that you're playing, and bring in other people's things. So also one thing that we learned from Cirque was the director always said, I want you to always watch around and always look around the world and learn from other people. Watch and learn from everything. And so you can watch from people and you can see their blueprint, and you can see what you like and what you don't, and you can take and sort of modify your own blueprint. So that's what I've taken from Cirque.
And your transition to film was How the Grinch Stole Christmas, is that correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Ron Howard gave me my first job.
And that was as stunt coordinator or movement coach?
I was a stunt man on that film, and I actually didn't know the protocol for film, and I started when the extras came in. My job was to come up with as many things as I could in Whoville with 5 other Cirque people, and we the extras came in about a month later. And I started teaching the extras movement on how to become a Who, and we thought, let's all create a common denominator so we can have the same gene pool, and then you can go off and become your own character, because everybody was like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And I was like, wait, guys, let's all figure out where we come from. And then Ron Howard saw that, and he called me to his office, and everybody thought I was in trouble. I thought I was in trouble. I thought I was going to get fired. And he was like, I liked what you were doing, and I want you to teach all the actors and extras in the film. And so he gave me a job as a movement coach, and we created Who School. And he gave me a whole sound stage and everything. And we wrote a list of things, and within 2 weeks, everything was there. It was like unicycles and presents and packages and this and that and trampolines and spring floor and all these props. So it was anything I wanted, I was like, oh my God, this is cool. They must have so much money. It was like, and then so I've been teaching actors since then, acting and movement and character creation, and basically applying all the things I've learned from Cirque, but then learning a lot about the individual actor and their needs and what they need to sort of realize about themselves in order to play a different character. Because I feel like when you don't understand yourself, you play the same thing because you bring a lot of things that you don't understand about yourself with that character. So it's all about really getting to know who you are first, and understanding and really looking at your fear. A lot of fear. Fear is a big thing that creates blocks and really shapes who you are a lot. And when you undo fear, you're like, whoa, okay, open. I can feel, I can see wide, and then I can create the fear if it's real, if they're from somewhere else, or not, if it's not pertinent to the character. So, yeah, it's really fun. It's fun because everyone's so different.
And then you're able to bring that all to relay it to the audience from basically taking that. Very nice. So you've played King Kong. You've now played Oleg. Is there any particular character, creature that you want to play that you have not yet?
I don't know. I think I'm going to play a human next.
Well, Oleg was human, I think.
He was human. Yeah, he was definitely human. He wasn't an ape at all. He was a human, using ape movement as an excuse to sort of get to people. But I'd like to play like a really weak man that is putting on this strength. This bully, like a person who's like politician. That'd be fun.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and it was great having you.
Thank you.